from the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
A wet and messy Sunday to end your weekend, but there's more. Severe storms could possibly make way across parts of central Indiana tonight. It's a storm team alert. Good evening, and thank you so much for choosing WRTV News at 6. I'm Amber Grigley. Well, Kyle Mounts has been warning you all weekend long about this potential threat. Let's send it right over to him right now to see how all of this will play out for us later this evening. Kyle?
Yeah, Amber, so far it's been all about the rain across central Indiana, and you can see many areas about a half-inch of rain. Indianapolis actually one of the heavier spots there, 1 1/3 inches so far here. And we do have this flood warning, including Indianapolis, much of Marion County, stretching through Hancock County until about 10:15 tonight. So if you come across some standing water, certainly want to avoid that, find another way around. Radar shows we are catching a break here from the wet weather. You can see a couple of isolated showers in portions of Hamilton County, also extending as we get a little closer toward the Muncie area and even moving back in toward Lafayette. There you can see a little better, even a few lightning strikes around the Winchester area. Nothing severe with that, but as we look back toward the west, you can see there's this big area of red, a tornado watch across much of Missouri into extreme western Illinois. There's that line of thunderstorms that could be strong to severe, and it does extend that severe weather threat into central Indiana for the overnight hours, mainly after 10 o'clock tonight. Some damaging wind, maybe an isolated tornado. Those are things that we're going to be watching out for. And with that overnight timing, extra important, make sure you got that free Storm Shield app downloaded in case we have any watches or warnings. They'll be sent right to your mobile device.
All right, thanks, Kyle, for that quick weather update. Well, state police say heavy rain may have contributed to a crash that killed one person and seriously injured another on I-70 near Plainfield. Well, the crash happened just before 10 a.m. in the westbound lanes of I-70 near Old State Road 267. Troopers say at least 3 semis in a car were involved. Now, one of the semi drivers did die at the scene. Another semi-driver was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Investigators believe the crash happened after one of the semis lost control in the construction crossover, then jackknifed and crashed through a concrete barrier wall. Now, this caused a chain reaction. Right now at 6, IMPD are investigating after a body was discovered on the southwest side of Indianapolis. Just before 11:30 this morning, IMPD say officers were called out to the 1000 block of North White River Parkway West Drive about a deceased male near the river. It's not clear what happened, but IMPD say the victim had undisclosed trauma. The Marion County coroner will assist in determining the cause of death. The victim's identity will be released once next of kin has been notified. IMPD is seeking accreditation, and they need your help to reach that goal. The accreditation program requires agencies like Metro Police to comply with standards in 4 basic areas, including policy and procedures, administration, operations, and support services. As part of the assessment, members of the community are invited to offer comments at a public information session tomorrow, October 25th, at the City County Building at 5 p.m. Now, the session will be held in room 224. Masks are required. And if you can't attend the meeting in person, you can always provide input by just calling 317-327-1358 on Monday between the hours of 1 and 3 in the afternoon. Well, October is Infant and Pregnancy Loss Awareness Month. It's a pain, unfortunately, many mothers have experienced, including Kristen Bill. Well, she suffered the loss of 5 children, most recently in 2019. During that time, Bill realized there weren't enough resources for parents going through this at the time. So she decided to create a website called Amos's Anchors in memory of her late son, Amos. It outlines support and financial resources for grieving mothers. She says undertaking it will be okay, and being able to understand it for all the mothers involved in a situation like this is very important.
Because of how common loss is, sometimes people try to push loss as something that you just move past and get over. But when you lose a child, it's something that you never get over. You grow around it and you move forward, but you don't get over it.
She also has cards in multiple local hospitals encouraging grieving parents to stay afloat. The FDA is set to meet this week to discuss vaccinations for children ages 5 to 11 years old. This as boosters for all 3 vaccines become available for all vaccinated Americans. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has the latest from Washington, D.C.
Younger Americans may soon be eligible to get vaccinated against COVID-19, with the key FDA panel set to meet Tuesday to review Pfizer's new trial data. The data showing at 1/3 of the adult dose, Pfizer's vaccine is nearly 91% effective in kids ages 5 to 11.
If you look at the data that's been made public and announced by the company, the data look good as to the efficacy and the safety.
It's expected the FDA will recommend emergency use authorization for the vaccine for that age group. Then it's up to the CDC's advisory committee to give the official green light.
It's entirely possible, if not very likely, that vaccines will be available for children from 5 to 11 within the first week or two of November.
This as more Americans become eligible to get that extra dose of protection. Boosters of Pfizer, Moderna, and J&J given the all clear to go into the arms of 70 million people who are already vaccinated. Health officials say it's safe to choose a different vaccine brand from your original shot. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky speaking to NBC.
We saw data from the NIH on mix and match that antibody levels for the mRNA vaccines boosting the J&J were really, really high. And we also saw clinical data from J&J that said if you're boosted with J&J, you actually do quite well as well, which is why we've really left it open and said any one of these vaccines can really be used to boost any one of the others.
Experts are urging Americans to get that booster dose. Walgreens and CVS offering boosters at thousands of locations across the country.
We are here, ready, and available to ensure that we protect each and every one.
Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
And a reminder, CVS pharmacies and Minute Clinics are now offering the Moderna COVID-19 booster shot. CVS had already been providing Pfizer booster shots at its nearly 340 locations across Indiana. The Pfizer and Moderna boosters are for people 65 years and older. The boosters are also for residents in long-term care facilities and for some people with certain underlying medical health conditions. A certain report by tech platform Growmotely found that 74% of professionals think remote work will become the new normal. Well, one city in Decatur County is looking to capitalize on that. And through an online marketplace, they're offering an incentive for new neighbors to move right in. WRTV's Nikki Dimitri takes us to Greensburg.
Greensburg, Indiana. Population 11,891. And growing.
This hometown atmosphere is contagious.
The Tree City is most famous for this tree growing out of the roof of its courthouse. Town leaders, though, are looking for new neighbors to plant roots and are willing to pay up.
Somebody who's interested in investing, spending time here, being a part of our nonprofits and other agencies, and then just really enjoying our community.
The offer, $7,000 in cash and gifts for remote workers to call Greensburg home.
We're really focused on individuals who work remotely, high-wage income earners that live outside the state of Indiana.
If selected, new neighbors will receive up to $5,000 in reimbursement for moving costs, a years-long membership to the YMCA, a literal seat at the table during community events, and Grammy Tammy.
We still aren't done being parents and loving on kids.
Both Tammy Wenning and her husband Dan, a school bus driver, are grandparents on demand, available for babysitting and the school's Grandparents' Day.
Some people saying, oh, I'd never trust my child with someone I don't know. But in a community our size, everybody knows everybody. And if you've ever done something bad, somebody will tell on you.
The mom herself says growing up, she moved all around the county and knows just how scary it can be to start over in a new place.
I want people to feel comfortable coming here and instantly feel like they've got some family, somebody to at least call.
Greensburg isn't alone in looking to capitalize on this growing remote workforce. Bloomington, French Lick, and West Lafayette are three of more than half a dozen towns across the state to also offer up cash and gifts to bring new neighbors into town. MakeMyMove.com operates out of an old Chase Bank building on 38th in Indianapolis. The online marketplace showcases incentive packages like the one for Greensburg to connect remote workers to communities across the United States.
We started with about 23 communities on the site. We're up to 50 now.
Lifelong Hoosier and co-founder Evan Hawk notes Make My Move continues to rapidly expand after starting last December. Each listing on the site includes internet speed rating, closest airports, and medium home value.
I think what we're
we're finding is Indiana is a leader in the country. That there are about a dozen cities across the state that are offering these, and more to come. And I think we're putting our money where our mouth is to try to attract some of those residents.
Working for you, Nikki Dementri, WRTV.
And the Greensburg listing was posted about 2 weeks ago. The Tree City is looking to start with sponsoring 5 individuals. So far, Mayor Joshua Marsh says more than 800 applications were submitted. Now, there's no deadline to apply. Those interested can apply online through makemymove.com. A precautionary boil water advisory is now in effect for the town of Pendleton until further notice. The town says there was a major water main break at a construction site that drained the water towers and led to a loss of pressure. All water utility customers of the town of Pendleton should boil tap water before consuming it. Water can be used for bathing and washing without boiling. The town also says residents should see water pressure increase throughout the day. Pendleton says the advisory will be lifted after water service and quality are fully restored and tests verify the safety of the water supply. The process is expected to take 72 hours. While the investigation continues into the deadly shooting on a film set, the focus tonight is on the crew member who lost her life. The latest when the news at 6 continues. Welcome back. Now to the latest on the investigation into the fatal shooting on the set of Alec Baldwin's film in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The family of the cinematographer who died is speaking out in her memory, as many wonder how this could have happened in the first place. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
42-year-old cinematographer Helena Hutchins was a wife, mother, daughter, and sister to Svetlana Androsevich, who says in a statement, "I cannot comprehend her passing. I loved her very much. I was very proud of her, and she was my role model. This loss is a great grief for our family." The film community in New Mexico also honoring her life and work.
Every day, everybody on the camera team was proud to be there for her, because we were proud of what we were creating.
Hutchins was fatally shot by actor Alec Baldwin on the set of the Western film Rust Thursday.
Her death shouldn't have happened.
According to court records, the assistant director gave the gun to Baldwin, saying it was cold, meaning it was empty, but it wasn't. Hutchins was shot in the chest. Director Joel Souza was also hurt.
There are many factors that will be considered by investigators, and the first question is who loaded that live ammunition into that gun? Who handled the gun after the live ammunition was put into the gun? Who knew about the live ammunition? And then there are all these questions about safety protocols and the failure to follow those safety protocols.
One Rust crew member telling ABC News the issue of gun safety had been brought up by the camera crew and brushed off repeatedly by producers. In the past week, there were at least 2 accidental discharges of the prop gun on set, according to that crew member, who said a list of safety and other concerns prompted almost the entire camera department to walk off the set just hours before the shooting. But Helena Hutchins stayed.
It's possible there could be multiple people that could face criminal charges.
The production company tells Variety magazine they were not made aware of any official complaints concerning weapon or prop safety. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Here's some news that might reignite panic buying. Supply chain issues are impacting the supply of alcohol in the U.S. Experts say there's also a shortage of glass, which is making it difficult for local manufacturers to produce their brands. Stores in some states are limiting how many products customers can buy.
All right, that rain came down heavy at times, and then it caused some rushing water out there. Kevin Gregory snapped this video earlier this afternoon in western Marion County, and you can see that water rushing on through. It's going to take a little time for those water levels to come back down, but we go from rushing water to actually some blue sky there in Putnam County. Nice kind of way to tap off what has been a soggy Sunday. 60 degrees for us right now. The temperature will continue to climb just a little bit more. Check out that humidity, though, at 96%. And we have quite the temperature range across the state of Indiana. Really, it's a 30-degree range from 48 in Gary to 78 in Evansville. Earlier this afternoon, Louisville was at 80 degrees. Right now it's 60 downtown, 73 for you in Bloomington. And that transition really kind of helps to fuel those thunderstorms as we go a little later on into tonight. Severe threats mainly going to be from some gusty winds, possibly some flooding, but the storm should be fairly quick moving here as we go through the rest of the night. Isolated tornado and large hail, can't rule those out either. As we look at radar, you can see line of showers and a few thunderstorms starting to come back together across the northern portion of central Indiana here. Not expecting these to be severe, just some brief heavy rain moving through Muncie. That'll continue to move toward Hartford City and then back through Lafayette and into Monticello. Once again in Delphi, you'll see some of that heavy rain. Let's take you to TrueCast here at 9:30 tonight. You can see the heavy rain around Monticello, back into portions of Benton County around Fowler. Then as we get after midnight, we'll start to see this line of thunderstorms entering the western and northwestern portions of the state. It should be weakening as it does so, but still could have enough oomph to it that we have some of those gusty winds as the storms move through, reaching Indianapolis roughly around 3 o'clock in the morning. And then as we get to 5 o'clock, most of the wet weather pushing to the east, but still we're going to be dealing with some of those pesky showers throughout the day on Monday. And you can see even as we get into the afternoon, some scattered showers. Additional rainfall, 1/4 of an inch to about maybe an inch in most spots, maybe a little bit more than that as we get into some northern communities. Temperatures on Monday start off mild around 60, but they will actually fall through the afternoon. And it's going to be a breezy day as well, that wind out of the west, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Extended forecast could have some patchy frost there by Wednesday morning as we have temperatures starting off in the 30s there. And then we'll get highs back around 60 with more rain Thursday and Friday. We'll be right back here on the news at 6.
Well, the pandemic is still wreaking havoc on the food service and hospitality industry. Usher Qureshi shows us how some are hopeful working moms can help fill the staffing shortage.
Hey guys, so what can I get for you today?
At a time when most restaurants were struggling to stay afloat, the Breakfast Club, a brunch spot in Des Moines, opened its doors during the pandemic.
It's really hard right now.
A third of restaurant owners in Iowa have lost staff to other industries and don't expect them to come back. For Breakfast Club partner Josh Holderness, that means a sick call from an employee can turn things upside down.
We just don't have the people that you can call on a moment's notice to maybe come in and cover those shifts.
But as restaurants, bars, and other businesses in the hospitality industry struggle to find workers, new research suggests it's about to get even worse. According to a jobless survey of nearly 14,000 wage earners, 58% of restaurant and hotel employees intend to quit their jobs by January 1st.
We're really in a mode where we have to attract back workforce, but also attract new workforce into our industry.
Jessica Dunker is the president and CEO of the Iowa Restaurant Association. She says the restaurant industry as a whole is hoping an influx of working moms could help restaurants recover from worker shortages.
We really have some powerful, unique value proposition to offer potential employees.
With women accounting for half the restaurant workforce, flexible schedules could lure some working moms back to the ranks.
Sausage or bacon?
Working moms like Nina Pinelli, who quit her last job during the pandemic in part because juggling a rigid work schedule while raising 2 remote learners became untenable.
It was tough. It was hard to manage that school online, job as well. It was hard.
With her twin daughters back at school, Pinelli returned to the workforce as a server here at the Breakfast Club.
They open early and close at a great time. All right. To offer me that opportunity to go get my kids, pick them up.
Still, employment overall in the food industry is down nearly 1 million jobs from pre-pandemic levels. And with Americans quitting in record numbers, there may not be enough women out there to fill the void.
Not yet. Boy, we are looking hard, and we know that we have to really market what we can bring to the table as employers to attract those high-quality workers back into our industry.
Scrambled egg?
Reporting from Des Moines, Iowa.
Perfect.
I'm Usher Qureshi.
All right, here's a bit of a game changer for you. A blind woman can now see shapes thanks to a brain implant. The international team of doctors say they stimulated neurons in the brain to create artificial vision. Now, the woman wore video recording glasses that worked with software to send signals to the brain implant. Doctors say the woman was able to see lines, shapes, and simple letters. They call the results encouraging and say there is still work to be done before this can be used as a reliable treatment for blindness. How about that, Kyle?
Pretty incredible step for sure. As we look at radar for us this evening, maybe hearing a little bit of thunder there in the Lafayette area. We've got some thunder showers stretching from there over through Muncie and Winchester. All this is going to continue to lift toward the northeast. Not expecting anything severe there, but our rain chances will come back up here as we go into the overnight hours, and that's when we could have some of those storms with gusty winds. So we'll certainly be monitoring that for you. Then the temperatures start to fall on Monday after a morning high of 58 there. Highs are going to stay around 58 to 60 degrees here for much of the week ahead. We get a couple days to dry out and then more rain for the end of the week.
All righty, well, that does it for the news at 6. Thank you so much for making WRTV your choice for news. See you back here at 11.